Hello, welcome to the first episode of Mathmeotics on Geometry. I wanted to go over this warm-up problem that we went over on Friday, and I know there was some confusion, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about it in a video. So question number 7, 8, and 9, and 10. So I'm going to do 7 and 8 in this video, and then I'm going to do 9 and 10 in the next video. Okay, and the number 7, it says, name all the corresponding angles and they're transversal. So that means that we need to look at each angle and determine whether or not what is transversal, what is transversing. And a definition for it to be transversing, if we look at angle D, or transversal D. So if we look at line D, so that's this line here, and we're looking at what is transversing. And I'm not highlighting. And let's say it's transversing the two lines A and B. And then we have interior, okay? And then when we have transversing, and then we also have exterior, okay? So that's going to be outside our lines as being transversing. All right, so we've highlighted our interior of our lines and our exterior. That's really hard to say. All right, and now we're going to look at what lines are corresponding. Well, corresponding in terms of interior, that means that on the lines 7 and 6, those are corresponding angles. Okay. We also have on that transversal, we have two, so angle 7 and angle 6 with trans D and lines A. Oops, dang it. Lines A and lines B. Really bad handwriting, I know, I'm sorry. All right, now on the... Oh, my cat, hold on, I have to stop my cat from eating a string. He loves to eat a string. Okay, pause. All right, coming back, sorry. We don't have anything else in terms of looking at that. Let me look back at that again so we can see that visually. This is our interior. And this is our exterior. We have no other lines or other angles other than 7 and 6 that are corresponding. Okay, in order for us to talk about corresponding angles. So, we're going to move on to our next transversal and look at some other ones. Okay, let's look at B. Okay, B is going to transverse. B is going to transverse, and it helps us to highlight things. B transverse D and E. All right, so let's highlight D and E. And we're going to highlight our exterior and our interior. And I'm going to see if there's anything that's corresponding. There are no corresponding angles. 6 and 5, those are same side interior angles. So that would be the answer for number 9. We'd be able to answer that question on number 9. But we don't have any other, there's no other corresponding angles. So we can't use or name any angles for correspondings for that one. All right, let's look at C. C transverse is a D and E. This is my interior. And this is my exterior. And again, there's nothing in there that can be corresponding, so I can't say anything about that. Now, line C also transverses A and B. So let's look at A and B. This is interior. And this is exterior. And again, there's nothing that's corresponding same. That means that they're in the same position on the transversal. So there's no angles on that. All right. Let's look at E. E is transverting B. Oh, this is going to be difficult to show you highlight. Okay, B and C transverses. This is also your interior in here. You can have transversals that look like this. In that case, we have 2 and 5 as same side, or sorry, corresponding angles. So the biggest thing that's going to help y'all on these is to draw them, sketch them out, highlight, and look at them. So like, because when you first glance at this, you wouldn't be able to see that E transverts A, B, and C, line B and C. Your lines, when you have a transversal, it can transvert two intersecting lines. If I have a line, I can have lines that look like this, okay? And I'm going to call this line A, and I'm going to call this line B. And I can have another line here, and I'm going to call this T. T is transverting A and B, okay? So that means that's essentially what's happening in this situation. So these two angles here that I'm highlighting, those are corresponding angles. And talking about it one step further, here and here, these two angles, those are alternate interior angles. So you have to look at it that way. It really helps to highlight the angles in the questions, okay? So just to let y'all know, there are no other corresponding angles in this diagram. So now let's look at some alternate interior angles. That's where we get some real nitty-gritty angles that gets really interesting. So on trans C, that's this angle here. And when it transversals, when it transverts D and E. So then my interior is going to be here. And my exterior is going to be here. Okay. Then I'm going to have, we're looking at number 8, alternate interior angles. So I have an alternate interior angles with 2 and 3. And I also have alternate interior angles on the same transversal at 1 and 4. Okay? I have no other alternate interior angles on that transversal. Now, there's other alternate interior angles. If we look at transversal B, that's that line there. And it's transverting C and E. So now let me highlight those. I'm going to highlight my interior. Or I'm going to highlight the exterior. So E and C, that means that's here. And C is that line there. And my interior is here. I have 5 and 4 are alternate interior angles. If you look, see how the pink area is shading the exterior of it, and the yellow is my interior of my transversal of my angles. That's really going to be a big help for y'all if y'all use highlighters on these, alright? Because I know it gets these, when you're talking about that, it gets really, really tricky on what is alternate interior angles and what's alternate exterior angles. And, you know, we need to have that information when we're talking about parallel lines to be able to determine the values, and that will help us. All right? I will see you in the next videos where I'll go over number 9 and number 10. See you later. Bye.